Hello and welcome to anyone and everyone who's decided to watch this video. Today we are looking at the Transformers Studio Series Gamer Edition Voyager Class War for Cybertron Ratchet. These names are getting way too out of hand for toys. But it's Ratchet, one of my favorite Autobots, as he was depicted in my favorite Transformers video game. And guys, this is such a good toy. I'm just gonna get it out here right now. This is the best Gamer Edition figure yet. Like, every one is better than the last. Oh my goodness, these Gamer Edition figures. Oh man, eventually one of them is going to reverse the cycle and it is going to be so disappointing. But right now, we got this amazing Ratchet figure here, and I love it. And yes, he has a giant axe on his roof. We will take that off, put that to the side. He has whatever this healing gun is called. It has been a while. It can attach to the back of his truck mode. Cool. We will move that to the side so we can admire the beauty of this thing, this big giant dome of a car, of a truck. And oh man, it is good. It is a nice chunky vehicle for a Transformer in a way we just don't feel from Transformers figures anymore. This feels a lot like the Optimus from the first wave of the Gamer Edition figures, but also in a way he feels like a toy from a bygone era. This, in a lot of ways, almost feels like this could have been a Voyager figure back from when these games first came out. It really feels that good in a lot of ways. It almost feels like we went back in time because, oh yes, he is so nice. And let's just get a big look at this boy. He's a lot like a turtle shell in a way. Very, very similar to the TF animated Cybertronian Ratchet in that way, because that one also had a very turtle feel. Now, those were very different vehicles, because that one, instead of having wheels, had like the treads that went diagonally, so it was standing up off the ground, and it had like a cab and then a body with a big chunk of car on top of that. It's kind of hard to describe it without having a physical toy of that version of Ratchet to bring in for comparison. Whereas this feels like just a shell. Like, this could be a Turtle-mobile right here, just painted green. And it would work really well. And it's nice. It's also a lot like an armored pursuit truck, like that something like a SWAT team would be rolling around in, which is very fitting for the tone of the War for Cybertron games, and very fitting for this mold, because, you know, it's going to be Ironhide at some point, and oh yeah, this Ratchet's so good that I'm really excited for that Ironhide repaint. But right now, let's focus on Ratchet, my guy. Yeah, he's just big, no paint on the back as usual, nice fake window detailing. He's got that heartbeat logo that Ratchet is known for having. There is, of course, his Autobot symbol and his grill with that lighter neon red and some paint detail on the front. No real telling where he shoots those rockets that these guys can shoot in their vehicle modes, because they gotta have guns in both modes for sake of the gameplay, but I never thought they actually had a proper place for their guns to show up in their vehicle modes anyway, aside for the tanks. So it's not that shocking not to see anything that looks like a rocket launcher here on this turtle shell on wheels. And for comparisons with some other vehicle modes in the line, here is Optimus Prime, just so we can get a look at our Voyager truck guys. Both very big, very nice looking toys. Of course, Prime is bigger than Ratchet because he's the big boss. He's got to be more imposing than the other Autobots. But yeah, and to put him with a deluxe, we will place him next to Sideswipe, and you can see there feels like a true size difference between these two. Like, you can tell these are two different price points right here, just like it used to be, as opposed to most Transformers where it's kind of hard to tell which one was which size class. But this is definitely a deluxe and a Voyager right here, and it's really, really nice. So that was the vehicle mode. Very fun. Rolls great. Nice detail. Looks right like it came from the game. So how about we talk about that robot mode? Because it is a doozy of a robot mode. Oh yes, oh yes. He is very, very, very nice. Oh, hang on. I didn't clip this in all the way. There we go. And yes, he's got some flaws because I guess they prioritized playability for once instead of displayability. Like, you can't get his legs perfectly straight. His arms are a little bit thin and a bit more lengthy, but they're fun to move around. And I guess you could say maybe you have a problem with the dagger hands he's got due to all the vehicle panel on there. But at the same time, he's got freaking dagger hands. How cool is that? And yeah, he is, of course, a big white robot, as Ratchet tends to be, but he's got his red in there with the neon in his belly and the black to emulate his window. The heartbeat symbols that I think are trying to have the neon effect on them as well. They're not doing it that great. This is also one of those Ratchets that has a red helmet as opposed to either a white one or... Has he ever had a black helmet? He's had a black crest, but I don't think he's ever had a black helmet. But, oh, hang on. Almost dropped the camera. But, yeah, I actually think Ratchet looks pretty good with the red helmet, even though you could argue it makes him look even more similar to Ironhide, as they are, of course, repaint brothers. And I love his big wheels in his elbows. I don't know why. There's just something really, really cool about that to me. And he's got nice big old legs for standing on, even if he can't stand straight. I just think he's a really cool looking Ratchet. He tended to be the character I played as in the one level he's in, as much as I, of course, like Bumblebee and Optimus. I'm also just a big Ratchet fan, and I just always liked playing as him in that particular level. And it helps that he is a truck character, and the trucks were probably my favorite class of character to use in those games. But yeah, he's a good, tough-looking version of Ratchet for this tough, gritty video game, war-driven Cybertron world. But he still feels very medical-focused. And well, we gotta talk about it. Why is this figure so great, aside for everything we've addressed? Well, like most figures, if we bring in his medical gun, he does what Starscream does, and he can continue holding it like a normal Transformers weapon, and I hope they continue this throughout all of the Gamer Edition, because it is nice to include this for people who want it. But I actually don't mind the game-accurate arm swap gimmick on this guy for a couple of reasons. One, look at that. Look at how flush this is with his arm and his wheel. That looks really, really nice, actually. He looks really good holding this. Even if the gun is very inaccurate in terms of its colors, with the whole black body and the white claw, it should all be one color and should probably be more of a gray, but... whatever. It looks really good on him like that. But also, he has the greatest feature I have seen on a Transformer, and something I've kind of wanted them to do for a long time. Of course, he's got a backpack made of part of that big old vehicle mode of his. You fold this open, you take the arm, tab it into his spine, put the backpack closed, and voila! Voila! It's vanished. There's no extra part that you have to throw to the side, nor is there just an arm dangling from his butt. No, he's just a cool, armed-up, game-accurate bot. And, I think that's awesome. I've wanted a Transformer with a backpack that holds accessories and stuff in it for a while now. I've always thought that would be just a fun gimmick to have a TF where part of the truck just becomes a big thing on their back, but then suddenly guns come out of it. And of course, he doesn't have any crazy guns back there. He has his arm so that he can have his crazy gun on his arm. And I just think that's great. I think that's awesome. Again, another thing that will be cool to get the Ironhide version of this mold, because it means I'll get 2 versions of this awesome gimmick. And maybe Ironhide will come with a different gun. I hope Ironhide comes with the Scatter Blaster, because that was like one of my favorite guns in that game. And I think that was Ironhide's default weapon. Okay, side note. Looks like Ironhide was shown off like an hour after I recorded this video, and he does come with a shotgun, but not the Scatter Blaster. It's the other one. But he does come with a shotgun, which is what I wanted him to come with, which is pretty cool. Enough about Ironhide. This is Ratchet, so he's got his healing gun, so he can shoot big energy beams to heal his Autobot comrades, but kill his Decepticons. Honestly, kind of a morose gun. Pretty messed up. But I've always liked the look of it with its big old claw. And yeah, it's got a port in there, but that's more just for visual, because you definitely cannot get a blast effect in that or anything. It's really just there to be a gun for shooting and, well, not really even shooting, because again, can't put in blast effects, just for display, really. Just for display. And let's get a little experimental and see what he looks like with some other guns that were in the Gamer Edition collection, shall we? So first we'll bring in Bumblebee here with the pistol and see how that looks. It's okay on him. The block there in his arm is a little bit wide for it, but it looks alright. So we'll just give that back to Bumblebee, and we'll bring in this thing, the other gun Bumblebee had. Don't remember the name of it. That looks a bit better. Still feels a little small. I do feel at some point we should have a Voyager figure that comes with some of the weapons that came with either Bumblebee or Barricade. More plussed up, because I do feel that would look better on a Voyager figure. But this one's not bad. I don't mind this one. And we will bring in the big boy, Optimus Prime, with his iconic Ion Blaster, even though it doesn't really look too much like the Ion Blaster we know, and I'm not expecting this to work at all. No, it does not, because, of course, the Ion Blaster requires being sunken in to get in there, because it's got the big deep well with the port in there. Not really getting a good look at that. See how you really gotta go in with Optimus, get like this. And yeah, there's basically just too much stuff around Ratchet's weapon peg for doing that, but give Ratchet his own gun back, and we both have a size comparison between the three. And also we have the level 1 for the Autobot campaign, level 5 of the whole game cast reunited here. And of course, Ratchet is in between size-wise, which makes sense, because they want Optimus to be bigger, have that commander feel, and then Bumblebee is a deluxe class, so you expect him to be shorter. So, they look really great together, really good, and we'll just have to get Bumblebee out of here for a second and leave Optimus in the corner, because Ratchet, of course, also has his melee weapon, his axe. I don't get why Hasbro wants to give all these Gamer Edition figures their melee weapons, because, the melee weapon was just a quick push of the control stick, and for like a split second, a character would bring out the weapon, and I think they swung the axe. The Ratchet and Ironhide would swing it this way. But they gave him the axe for his melee attack, and you can put this in his hand, and it is very, very, very tight for these 2 bits here. It's a lot more loose for the middle part of the peg, and I don't know if they want you to have him hold it here or put it in slightly so it's more tight. For now, I will leave it at the middle part. I think it's going to wave all around a lot if I leave it like that. But yeah, he can hold it, and I guess it's not wiggling around too much, so maybe it's fine. But yeah, that is a bizarre system, because it's a cool-looking axe, even though I feel like it could have been omitted. I like the design so much that it makes me glad they included it. I'm just worried that because of that system of the different peg lengths here for the handle, that maybe it's going to push out the plastic, or break the hand or something. But he does at least look nice wielding it, I'll say that. And we gotta, of course, do a little axe comparison here with Optimus. Just get this in there and put that in and see the side by side. Optimus, of course, has the longer staff, and the grays, and he can do the whole splaying it open, so you can have either a game accurate or opening cinematic accurate. But he has the weird faded orange that doesn't go all throughout the blade like it should, whereas Ratchet has the very deep, consistent Autobot neon and the cool gray on the handle, on the head of the axe. And the white staff, I'm pretty sure, is inaccurate, but whatever. I do think Ratchet wins out on the coolness of his axe, even though Optimus does have a pretty nice one here. Pretty good one. This Optimus is a great figure. It's just I definitely think Ratchet is better. So we will get Prime out here. And yeah, that's about it. This Ratchet's pretty great. If you love Ratchet like I do, or love the War for Cybertron video games, I think this Ratchet is a must. Unless you're very, very, very specific about your collecting, and for some reason, medics are not one of them. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but there are ball joints for these shoulder things that move around for the articulation. I probably should have brought that up earlier, and I definitely didn't want to forget about it for the video. It's an interesting touch, nice engineering, but you gotta be careful. Be careful, it's not gonna break or anything. It doesn't feel brittle. I'm just saying, make sure it's looking good for your figure photography if that's what you want to do with your Ratchet or eventual Ironhide repaints. But again, great figure, really great figure. I honestly think this is the best Gamer Edition yet. They keep getting better and better with each figure, and I thought they were good to begin with. I didn't really think Bumblebee or Barricade were bad like everyone else did. Or I should say most people did. I know there are other people who quite like them, like I do. But needless to say, Optimus was better than them. I think Megatron was good. Not everybody does. Sideswipe, better than everybody. Starscream as well. And Ratchet, yet again. Every Gamer Edition figure so far beats out the rest. And that's pretty neat. So, yeah. I love this Ratchet. Maybe my favorite Ratchet figure I own now? maybe. I own quite a bit of Ratchets, because again, he's one of my favorite Autobots. But the point is, it's a great Ratchet. If you want it, I say you should go for it. Okay, I think I've rambled on enough. So, thank you all for watching. See you guys around.
Hey guys, it's your favorite Cool Cat Cheetor, here to tell you that if you want to be a cool cat too, then you should consider subscribing to this channel so you can get more fun videos to enjoy. See you around!